Hello, everybody, and welcome you to our fourth backstage session from the Karajan Institute. My name is Julia Binek. Unfortunately, Matthias Röder won't be here today because he's sick, and we wish him all the best. And today our topic is music education online. And therefore, we will welcome our special guest, Jacqueline Miura, the soprano, and Thomas
Hello.
Richter.
I'm not a soprano, but I used to be a soprano when I was younger. Hello, Julia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm quite fine. I'm just waiting for the hotel to turn down the music volume, so not to disturb you in the live stream. How are you?
I'm good. So you're in Berlin, I guess.
No, I'm in Hamburg actually, but it's the small Berlin. I like it too. I like it as well.
Great.
So what do we have in store today?
Today we have the topic music online education. How's it to have online lessons and all the topic around it? I think it will be interesting.
Perfect. Have you had some experience with the topic before in your life?
Yes, I have a lot of online lessons, singing online lessons, and for me it works really well. Let's talk about it later. And you have some trend report for us, I guess.
Yeah, I try to dig into all what's new in music and tech. Some things are from 2020, some are very new, and I would like to have your opinion on those topics. Quite fascinating. People can be brilliant when you let them be brilliant.
Let's start.
So, Nikolai, please show the first part of the Karajan MusicTech trend report.
San Francisco Symphony has had a redesign. This time, it's rather unusual but fun. The new font is being influenced by music. Even there's a way to voice activate the new font.
So quite unusual, but I liked it a lot. The first part was cut off, unfortunately, but it said that the San Francisco Symphony now had a rebranding, a redesign. And instead of having a traditional boring font type, they now have a font type that's more adaptable, more liquid, more vivid. And I think it symbolizes what music can do to you. It's not strict or every time the same, it can change. What do you think about this type of font?
So I don't understand exactly for what I can use it. May you explain it again?
For example, if you had your own symphony in San Francisco and you needed a rebranding and you want the rebranding to show what music can do, Nikolai, could you please show it again?
The San Francisco Symphony has had a redesign. This time, it's rather unusual but fun. The new font is being influenced by music. Even there's a way to voice activate the new font.
Look at the monitor, please. So, it's a way how branding works because it's not a boring font anymore, but it's a more unusual way to display what music can do to you.
Great, yeah. What's the next one?
Yeah, Nikolai, what's the next one?
So Bertolt Meyer works at the Research Center Hybrid Societies at Chemnitz University of Technology, Germany. He's also a DJ and electronic music enthusiast. He hacked his ARM prosthesis in such a way that it plugs directly into the synthesizer so that he can control the music with his thoughts.
Headphone jacks next to them, where you can remote control almost every button on the thing by sending an analog voltage into it. So instead of turning this knob, what I could potentially do is send a voltage into this connector, which is next to the knob, which remote controls the knob. We created a converter for my prosthesis, so we call it the SynLimb. And the way this works is that you can, and this looks a bit weird, so viewer discretion advised, because I'm about to take my hand off. You can actually take this off.
The SynLimb converts the electrode signals that Bertolt's prosthesis picks up from his residual limb into control voltages.
Let's take a cable from the synthesizer and plug it into my prosthesis like this. So depending on where I plug this can be the pitch of a melody that's playing, this can be the filter frequency of a filter that's filtering a melody, it can be the fill of a rhythm, whatever.
Yeah, and I think Bertolt is a very good role model because he doesn't give up in his life. Of course, he also has become professor before, so he has never given up. But the way how he hacks his body to produce music is quite stunning. I like it a lot.
Yes, it's a great solution for him.
And if you want to see the whole video, you might go to our YouTube channel, because Julia Kaiser, our journalist, did a great interview with him in full length. It's 28 minutes long, and you can dive into his whole story. Nikolai, please show clip number 3.
Browser app. Having fun generating spooky sounds. All you need to have is a browser, a computer and a mouse. You can even use your body gestures to control the theremin.
Yeah, it's rather a short trend, but it's I want to show you it's an instrument I like in real life, where you can play music with coming closer and with raising your hand, increasing, making it louder or making the sound higher. But now you've got the possibility to do it directly in a browser. And you can also use this theremin when you click on the camera button, and you can use it actually as a real theremin. So raise your hand, come closer to the computer. It's a quite funny way to produce music.
It would be funny also with ballet or with dance performances to use it.
Yeah.
Including a performance, yeah.
Maybe also done remote. So one person is in Sydney doing this music, the ballet is in Salzburg, and I don't know, maybe there might be a singer somewhere else. Have you ever seen such a theremin in real life?
So for me, not. Maybe some guests out there who are watching us.
Hopefully. By the way, you can write in the comments maybe whether you've played the theremin in real life. But I've never seen it in real life, but it was used to produce spooky sounds for horror movies back in the days. So Nikolai, could you please play it again so we can hear those sweeping sounds?
The Theremin browser app. Having fun generating spooky sounds. All you need to have is a browser, a computer and a mouse. You can even use your body gestures to control the theremin.
But it can also be very nerve-wracking when you do it, for example, when you give it to your children. The next one is something...
Awesome, so I can eventually get my hands on the theremin, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Mama,
Thank
can
you,
I play
Lucas.
with it the whole day?
Yes. So what we have the next?
The next one is a beautiful choir.
By Camden Voices. Physical distancing made it necessary. Tech made it possible. Virtual choirs. Enjoy this little excerpt from Camden Voices' version of True Colors.
I like it a lot. In October or November, we had a alumni session here at the Karajan Institute where we were talking about virtual choirs, and it's not that easy to put up because you have to bring them all in time. You have to synchronize audios, but the result can be very stunning.
Yes, to see how it works with all together.
Is it a thing you would like to join?
I would
You're a
try it.
singer,
I would
right?
love to try it out. Yes, also to try it out with an orchestra and a singer. That would be also something new.
Do you think
That would be the
orchestras
next
are
level.
next level of Julia Binek?
No, with playing the orchestra and the singer, yes.
Do you think the choirs and the orchestras are ready for it, or are they rather conservative?
I think it depends. Yeah.
But what have
Depends
you
on
seen with
position.
with your institutes? Are they rather skeptical or future oriented?
It depends. I mean, now everybody has to be future orientated about the time now, but it depends how you have the perspective on it. Do you have something else for us?
Yeah, we've got the next one where we can see tools you can use to actually put up such a choir and other things. So please, Nikolai, play the next
Oxford
video.
has put together this fantastic comprehensible list of resources you need for remote collaboration in music production. You learn how to decrease latency when recording via the web. You will find software for streaming your music and a how-to guide for conductors who now need to conduct via the web. The link can be found in the stream notes of this show.
Yeah, as the other Thomas said before, the stream notes will show you all the things we tell you today. So this is a good list of tools for collaboration and recording. And I think it doesn't need explanation, but it just makes everything easier in life.
Yes.
Nikolai,
Karajan.com. Did you know? Discover Karajan.com allows you to explore the work and life of Herbert von Karajan. For example, type in Mozart and find all relevant recordings and performances. Also find relevant places and venues where Herbert von Karajan played or lived.
Yeah, you see, I sneaked in a trend from the Institute itself.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice research platform, because you can type all the names he worked with in it, and then you will see all the spots and what they have played and everything. That's really interesting. Yeah, I used it a lot.
for researching your articles and your videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, which are, by the way, very beautiful, and you can see them also on our YouTube channels. And Nikolai, the next one is our last one.
Synesthesia is the condition when our senses melt together. We can suddenly taste words or see sounds. Belgium-based researcher Xander Steenbrücke has developed a neural network that turns music into stunning visualizations. It is an impressive example that, when combined wisely, artificial intelligence and human arts can be a good team.
That's very interesting. I mean, interesting, of course, but it's very beautiful to watch. I guess they made also a video or a movie with Vincent van Gogh's paintings.
It might be the same person, Mr. Steenbrücke from Belgium, and
Maybe.
What I would love to see is seeing it in real life, but maybe it takes a bit too long
Yes,
to
how they
render
do
all
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Julia, I'm already finished with the little trend report. I hope it
Yes,
inspires you
let's
and
dive
all of
into
you.
the topic.
Yeah. What is it again?
Now, how I said, music education online, and now we have the guest Pauline Gude. I had the pleasure to talk with her yesterday, and she studies cello at the Mozarteum here in Salzburg, and she had some experiences with online lessons. So let's hear it. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Yes, how are you?
Thanks for inviting. I am great. Thanks.
You're in the Mozarteum right now?
Right. I am in the Mozarteum in the beautiful room for practice
Perfect. Really brave. So you had some online lessons, did you?
Yes, we had. We had, especially in the first lockdown, lots of online lessons, obviously, because there was no other way to stay in contact with the teacher. Yeah.
So how was it? How was your approach to it, to the lessons?
Yes. I mean, it was great for the time. It was a really good possibility to stay in contact, to stay fit on the cello and to continue learning and
But did you focus on other things during the lessons, like focusing more on the I don't know, on the technique, or
yes, that's the point.
What you're normally focusing on?
Yeah, it's the point. It's, of course, it's great, but it has lots of difficulties. So for example, the sound quality is just completely different. So we were really focusing a lot on the technical stuff, which is probably more easy on the instrument because you can see already a lot in the positions of the left hand or on the right hand. Maybe more difficult than for singers, I could imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were playing also together with the teacher?
We were actually. And yeah, of course, there are lots of difficulties with the internet connection. And if everything is working, it's great. But yeah, not so easy in general. But we started sometimes that I recorded a video for him that he could listen for himself, and then you were
discussing about it. That's also a nice way. Then he has really the full video. But was it better when you put the camera a little bit off yourself, not like too far?
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, I tried to get the recordings with the better audio quality, not only from the phone. So that was already better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. But you think it would be a solution for the future when your teacher is not in the same era than you, in the same city? Then that would be a solution for you. When you say,
let's say it would be a solution for a short period, but of course, online lessons, they can't be compared to real life lessons. So I think it's good if there's no other option to take the best from it. It's not the same. So I would say musical education doesn't work only with online lessons. Maybe for the beginning or for some periods, but not always.
But what would be what are the positive points of an online lesson?
The flexibility. You can have the lesson wherever you are. And sometimes it's also good. Then with the video, you see some different parts, or so it's another point of view. But of course it doesn't work so well like in real life.
Yeah, but that's a nice way that you recorded the piece before, and then you had the discussion during the lesson.
That was very, very helpful. Yeah, for sure.
Because so my online lesson is normally really an interaction with the teacher, that I'm singing, that she's singing. So recording would be also a way. Yes.
Yes, it is. And it's also good to get in the work of recording, because often I realize already lots of things when I'm recording myself. So we can start on another.
And I think that's really important for a cellist to record yourself and to watch yourself.
Yes, it is. You can see lots of techniques, and it's a great option.
Yeah, Yeah, I think the online lessons are really good for us to get the flexibility and to not to stay in the comfort zone, to have some solutions for the situation now.
Yeah, and it opens another door. For example, here with our cello class, we had a master class exchange with the cello class from Stockholm, and it was completely online, and that was great because we got to know a new professor, new ideas, new musical thoughts, and as well the whole class, and we had a nice chat with all of them together, and learned a lot.
So that was an online masterclass. It's also nice, yeah.
Yes. And one great thing in this online education was actually that, for example, my professor was sending us videos of himself, also with techniques and with thoughts on music, and that was actually a good adding to the lessons because we had a kind of library for learning cello, and I think that wouldn't have happened if we would have continued only with real life lessons. So
yes,
it was also good.
But what would you improve, especially at the online education, from yourself or from your side? I mean, of course, the technical setup could be also improved any time.
Yeah, sure. That's one point. I would say the preparation is maybe even better than for real life lessons because you need to be more aware. I think that's something would change for me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Not change, but it was like, especially in the process of recording before, that was good.
Yeah, because then you have the intention inside that you want to do it well.
Yes.
And you played also together with the other participants?
Not at the same time. We were rehearsing here and having the lesson in Salzburg, and then they could watch us, we could watch them, but not.
And how about online competition? What do you think about that? That's also, I guess, kind of, or a part of the music online lessons education.
Yes. I would say it's quite the same, like with the online lesson, that it's a great possibility and you can learn a lot. But I would say it's a completely different way of competition because you have lots of time to do the recording. Sometimes not. Sometimes you have only like a few minutes and you need to play that. But you don't have this concert feeling while you're playing the competition. I would say that's a difference. But of course, it's great that there are these possibilities now to do the competitions. Yeah.
And not to wait until everything is open again.
Exactly.
That we take the opportunity.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for your thoughts and for your ideas and for your experiences.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Nice to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Yes. That was her thoughts about it. It was very interesting about the pre-recorded videos, and that's also very good for her part of cellos. Yes. And now we have the guest, Jacqueline Miura. Hi. Hi, hello.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. Yes.
Yeah, I'm in Sweden, in green Sweden. It's light, as you can see, and beautiful. Yeah, I'm in the country house. One of the good things about giving lessons from home.
Wonderful. Lots of oxygen, I think.
Lots of oxygen, yeah. Lots of birds to listen to get inspiration, you know.
The snow.
The snow. Yeah, well, it's gone now, all gone.
Yes. So we had some online lessons, did we? Do we?
Yes, we are continuing with I mean, I think I've listened to a little bit before, and I think that one of the important things maybe is to have heard the person in person, so to speak, to have had or at some point doing that. It's good to have the real life reference when you're doing the things in not so real life, in this surreal life. So, but I also actually have experience from I had a student in Ukraine, and we didn't meet in person for about, I don't know, several months, and then it was also, I mean, after a while you get used to this forum, to this way of listening, to the way of communicating and to try to convey. And I mean, it's always difficult. You talked about it before, I'm sure, about the technique, because of course we rely on that, and it's the technique on both sides. So if I, for example, show an exercise, it could be, I'm not quite sure that my student will hear what I mean, because I don't know what their equipment is like, and and sometimes there are very small, subtle differences, but you can only try and then see how it goes, basically.
And we have
May I
also
ask you a question?
Yes, of course. No questions. No.
Okay.
I'm now here.
No.
What kind of setup are you using for that? Are you using Zoom conferences or a special microphone?
No, I mean, yeah, technique is not my strong side. And as you realized, well, you didn't realize, but actually I was cut off, and then I was panicking and thinking, oh God, I have to get back on it. And this happens, of course, and since I'm such a sort of, technical idiot, or let's say unaccomplished.
Beginner. Let's say beginner, maybe.
Yeah, beginner. Let's say beginner. That sounds nice. Yeah, I'm a naive technician. That means that I actually most of the time use FaceTime, and I haven't gone beyond that so far. I know I'm sitting in a couple of boards, and we are now having our board meetings on Teams and Zoom and lots of things like that. But when it comes to the lessons so far, I've used FaceTime, and it's worked. It works usually very well, and it's quite easy. So.
Yes.
No entrance barriers and things like that.
No, exactly. For me, everything that says put in some data here, I go, oh no, what should I do? So.
But it's already much better than the phones when I was born.
Yeah, and let me tell you,
quite a high quality.
Yeah, a bit better than the phones when I was born as well.
Yesterday?
Yes, exactly. I mean,
same century.
Yeah.
But I think it gives us more flexibility. I mean, for example, you're in Sweden now, I'm here in Salzburg, and we can have lessons together, not to wait when you're here or around.
Yeah, and I think that is, I mean, if I'm sort of have difficulties with technique from my own point of view, but I mean, the possibilities are endless, and we're just scratching the surface. And also, I mean, it's our imagination that is the sort of makes the boundaries of that. There are so many things that we could do, and as we've seen today in your examples in the beginning, with text that follows music, or music that follows your hand movements, or I mean, it seems like our fantasy is just the limit, and since that is limitless usually, then we don't know where we're going to get. But the possibility of me, for example, as I said, giving lessons to a student in Ukraine and giving lessons to somebody in Austria, and even if I'm out actually here, when I'm out in Sweden in the archipelago, if I'm in one of the islands and sort of sunbathing, I could just put on something that looks a little bit more, suitable for giving a lesson. I could give a lesson even out there, So, no, I think that it's it's also the challenge, because when everything is available, it means also that you have to make some decisions, and that can sometimes be, I guess, tricky to decide, for students to decide who to go to, because everybody can all of a sudden be available wherever they are, and also as a teacher to decide how you should try to convey what you're doing, what is important. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
too much choice sometimes. Yeah, I see it
Yeah.
with conferences. I'm a frequent conference goer when conferences were still in real life, like, I don't know, 20 times a year. But now, since there are 50 conferences a day, I don't go to any conferences anymore, or at least not so much like I did in real life.
No, it's true. I agree with that it can become a hinder as well. I mean, I used to go to the cinema, quite often, but now I can watch however many movies I want every night, day, evening, morning, constantly. So it is also, it puts a lot of responsibility on you as a person. And I wonder what is going to happen with that. When I was little, there were basically 2 or 3 types of milk, and now there is milk that is not milk. There is milk with milk in it, and there's milk with even more milk from free-ranging cows, and from it's just, and you have then you go and think, oh God, I just want some milk. No, you have to make a choice. Should you say the world? Should you say the
That's
crowd?
right.
Who should you say? So.
Yeah, that's true.
Where did you two actually meet? Already in Salzburg in real life, so to say, or have you found online somewhere?
We met real life, yes.
Yeah, we met real life.
Fortunately.
Yeah, exactly. And she still decided to meet
Yeah,
me.
perfect.
When she had the opportunity not to. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
So much choice, but she chooses you. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, she's the best teacher we have on the world.
Of course, yeah.
But
Yes.
Are you scheduling lessons with completely new people? For example, the person from the Ukraine. Have you also met her or him in real life, or how did
No, I didn't meet him in real life until quite a lot later, and that was through. I went to Ukraine to make some masterclasses, to give some masterclasses, and he hadn't been in these masterclasses, and he was actually an instrumentalist that wanted to sing and always wanted to sing and had sung when he was little. So he then decided that he wanted to take some lessons, and we started like that. And then I went to Ukraine to do some more masterclasses, and then I met him in real life. So, and that was very interesting, because I was sort of not dreading it. I was, anticipating that maybe this won't be the same type of voice that I've heard over the internet, or but it was very similar. I guess some things can be difficult to hear, and that is volume, how a voice actually travels. I shouldn't say volume, because it's more how it travels, how, the clarity of the sound. That is what we experience as, I think, anyway, the thing that we experience as being close to us and that we can hear well. So this is something that can be quite difficult to differentiate when you listen to somebody on FaceTime,
I would just remember some funny situation when I was singing, or when you was showing me something, then the picture was frozen because of the internet connection. I'm like,
yeah. And I remember
it's always funny.
Yeah, I had a problem, and all of a sudden there were 3 of me, as if one wasn't enough.
Yeah, that.
So poor Julia had sort of 3 of me, and one had stopped like that, and the other, oh.
So I
one
had
person was just skipping class.
5 teachers.
It could be like a nightmare as well, if you're not careful.
No, for sure. But did you also have an approach as a singer to online streaming, online lessons, online auditions, anything in online?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a very difficult situation now. The pandemic has erased, I would say, in many cases, culture in the world, and culture as we sort of know it, because that has been one of the things that one has decided in most countries could be left out. That we can live without that, whereas you have to have groceries and you have to have your medicine and you have to have some other things. And I've just been recording some musicians for a concert I do on 8th of March, charity concert for females, and female composers are exposed, and female singers and musicians. And the feeling that I had when I all of a sudden for such a long time have been starved from the live sound is undescribable. We think that we can make that it's okay with streaming and all that, and it's fantastic. It's a complement to what we do, but there is nothing that can actually live up to the experience of hearing music live. And I think that's mostly so from the music that we make, because it is not enhanced with any electronic devices. So it's different. I'm not saying, it's different with other type of music, but especially classical music or lots of folk music that is actually without electronic enhancement. And that feeling of voice or instrument direct to somebody is invaluable. And I think that we have, and I hope that we will soon come back to that, and soon we'll have opportunities, and that people will realize that the people who decide that this is important, this is also the food, we have food to eat, but we need food for our brains, So
that the vocal cords are not only muscles.
no, exactly. The feelings, and so of course it's very good, and it's exciting that there are lots of things that we can do. I mean but there's no substitute, I think, for what do we say now? IRL, in real life. I'm getting so sort of modern.
Modern and online.
Yeah,
this is great.
And we should have no one that is cutting this joy out of our lives, at least not for the long term. I was presenting something in September, having moderation on stage. I don't know why it was possible, but it was possible last year. But then when we were rehearsing it, I was singing on stage, and someone came to me, "No, stop singing, it's not allowed," because I like singing. I'm not that good at singing as you two are, but
well, you can
at least I enjoy it. but in the moment, it's not really allowed to do anything that is causing droplets coming out of your mouth. So,
no.
Which is understandable, but I hope this will vanish.
Exactly. It's understandable, but sometimes you think that, okay, if you look at, for example, opera houses, of course, I'm biased towards opera houses, but if you think about opera houses, they have a lot of people that are used to getting people in and out of an auditorium, and that it could be safe. And I was lucky enough actually to go both to Zurich and Munich in the midst almost of the pandemic, when it was open. It was open for about 2 months, and in those 2 months, since my husband is a singer as well, he was singing in both Munich and Zurich. And in Zurich, we were sitting beside each other. There was no space, and everybody was. They had a limit of the audience, but there was no space. But on stage, the orchestra was somewhere far away. The orchestra was far away, and the chorus was far away. Yeah.
But only the singers on stage, right?
Yeah, only the singers on stage. But it worked perfectly. But of course, and they had done it so beautifully, the speakers, so you could hear, different where they were in different places. The orchestra. So it wasn't just a sound coming towards it. It was wonderful. And then in Munich, it was we were sitting separated. So I think there are ways if we would just allow it. I am a little bit shocked about, I must say, how the attitude has been towards
Art.
live music.
Yes.
And footballers, they play football on a football field, and we don't talk about them breathing. I know that they have restrictions, but I'm just saying that it's interesting that can be, how many are there in football now?
What?
22 people can run.
22,
I think it's 22 can run after a ball together, and then we don't talk about any droplets. For me, it is a mystery. Why is it like this?
Yes. Also, I'm not speaking Turkey. Aygen Dogo, hearing music live, that it's so needed. Greetings from Ankara. Yes, that's exactly what you said.
Exactly. I mean, it is. I have not studied it in a sort of physiological or biological way, but there must be something that happens to us when we actually get music, that when live music hits our whole being. Maybe it's the droplets. No.
Maybe it makes our immune system better because we get
Exactly. Who knows?
It to me depends on the type of music. But when it's pop music, it's also the bass that's really touching the heart. I forgot what it is, but it's kind of like really a massage of your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's healthy, but I like it.
But it's exciting usually. I mean, if you go to dance, I do like to dance, but let's not go into that. But anyway, I love to dance, and there's nothing, as you say, as satisfying as when you sort of feel the sort of boom, boom, sort of really, you don't almost have to move. You're moved by the music, and that is something different, of course. But I think, and I hope that we will realize that music also, live music also is medicine actually, and that they're using now, as you probably have heard, I don't know if you talked about it in Austria and Germany and so on, but they're starting to use singers to rehabilitating people that are those who've had corona, because we know how to breathe and we know how to do all these things, and that has been helpful for them. So maybe we will come back with our skills in a different way. We will be as doctors, and then we will be free to
then we are relevant again.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, but coming back to the online lessons, I think that's very, very useful and very good to have that now.
Yeah, otherwise there's nothing, and we can't travel
yes,
off and off, and if you go somewhere, you might be stuck there. So you have to do something, and at least it's a compliment. I mean, all the things, it's as I often say, it's more colors on your palette. When you're painting, you have sort of the prime colors, and then you add and you add and you add, and that it all makes the whole of you and all the possibilities.
And comparing it to a live lesson, then now you're only seeing me like this picture, and then I can do with my body what I am like to do, and then seeing me in live lesson, she sees it.
But it can be tricky when you're singing. Obviously, you are singing, but sometimes when I'm, I don't know, in Zoom calls or something else, I do bank transfers. In the meantime, I'm surfing the web because no one can see what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But not all the time, and not with the Karajan Institute. There, I'm always focusing on what is.
Yeah. But you were talking also about the differences in giving lessons on online, and one thing is that, of course, the focus is very limited. So in a way, you get better contact, because when you're in a big room and you can sort of look to the right and left and everything, you can be distracted as well. But when you have a lesson online, you sort of the screen, you just have this space to sort of project or to focus on. So it could also maybe sometimes make you more focused when you're in the situation,
more technical.
More technical.
Yeah.
Are you also having examinations through the web, or do you have to have some kind of neutral audio quality to say, okay, Julia is a good singer or not such a good singer? How is this done?
I hope not.
we don't do. I mean, at where we are at the sort of level we're working at, we don't do exams. There is no sort of. Julia is doing her own exams when she applies for, singing jobs, auditions, school studying, or so on. That is the exam, but or meeting, an audience. But no, we don't. There is no, from what I'm doing, there is no sort of platform that you need to have to know that this is neutral. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I'm thinking about it, but I'm wrong now, I see, there might be students that try to sound better and they are having their own sound studio and they try to have the best microphones, but that's not really necessary.
No, I don't think so. I mean, that can happen when you have to send in videos to competitions, or to schools now to apply for places. That some people, of course, have brilliant equipment and brilliant microphones and everything. But sometimes a brilliant microphone can pick up things that are not so brilliant much better than very, very bad microphones. So I would say that in most cases, if you get a video of somebody singing, the combination of seeing them and hearing them gives you a pretty good idea of what you will get in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
so. You can see how your student is controlling the body. What about the tummy and things?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's the most important thing is when you get to the stage that you're auditioning for things, it's maybe not so much technique, because that you can hopefully learn, but it's the expression and the will to express something, the will to communicate, and also, of course, the quality of your voice. But I mean, you can, when it comes to competitions, of course, it's good that you have a certain standard, and I think it would be maybe a bit difficult to judge a whole competition just by video.
Yes.
But even that is improving. I mean, there is somebody here in Sweden actually that is trying to get together the possibilities of doing online auditions. Really, for lots of different opera houses in the same time. And that is also, of course, thinking about not only these times that is Corona, but also a more environmentally friendly way of doing it, because it means that you don't have to travel, and also a more economical way, because usually if you're a singer and you do an audition in somewhere else, you have to pay to get there, you have to pay to stay there. It can be thousands let's say hundreds of euros, to do.
Depends on where you're staying.
Hundreds of euros, maybe thousands of pounds. So that's, there might be a possibility to develop that, but we'll see where we end up, because I think that it's important that we just continue to develop also technically, so that there is actually opportunities for maybe somebody that is in a very remote place to also have their voice heard, for example, when it comes to voices.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, we had a session on online auditioning last week. So if you check our YouTube channel, you will also be able to see this. So,
okay.
Since this is your teacher, Julia, I will hand over to you, because I spoke already too much. So
No.
No.
That was very interesting, the interaction, and I think that's important to get all the opinions about it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, and I'm sure there are other people that have different experiences from this, but this is how I feel. And I've spoken to some friends that do a few online teaching, a little bit of online teaching, and it's
Yes.
It's the way forwards, but it's also the way forwards towards the live performance. That's what we're working towards. This is
That's
just
true,
the
yes.
road there, sort of.
At least it is
May-
something to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a relatively high chance for you to at least sing in front of an elder audience, because now they will be allowed at least to, they will be vaccinated and then will be allowed to go to concerts maybe. So actually concerts for 70 plus, 60 plus might be possible.
Yeah. I mean, we're hoping that. Of course, that is the hope. But unfortunately, the vaccine as it stands right now, we don't know exactly what that will mean. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can all of a sudden just go out and play around as before. I think it will take some time, and we don't know how long it lasts. So there's a lot of hope in the vaccine, but I think the most important thing is that we have other ways of doing it, so that we can do it regardless of if we have a vaccine. Because I'm afraid we're only waiting for the next pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That can be,
yeah. I have a very close relation that is in this business, in the pandemic. Very close, works very closely with the pandemic, and I would say that we need to find the tools how to handle this, whether we have some kind of protection or not, and we need to find a way of making music live, even if there is a pandemic going on.
So
Yeah.
maybe it could work that you all are in sound studios and your audience is having really high quality equipment, so they can hear all the nuances of you singing.
Yeah,
Could be
I
something,
mean,
yes.
yeah, of course. I mean, we shouldn't write off the possibilities of technique, because as you said, even though you seem very young to me, that the phone has developed even in your lifetime. So of course,
I was born at least before the internet, 3 years before the internet. So
3 years before the internet. I don't.
1989.
Oh gosh.
9 days before the wall fell down.
Oh,
Historic times.
Yeah, it was because of you. It was your scream.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the secret story of how Germany reunited.
Yeah, you sang and you went.
I caused the waterfall. You caused the pandemic to end. So we have a story now.
Yeah, there's a hard cross to bear.
We will do it. So thank you so much for being here and give us
Thank you for inviting me.
insight.
Yeah,
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Yes. And I think we want to remind all of you out there to go to our platform from the Karajan MusicTech. Is it right, Tomek?
Yeah, please go to www.karajanmusictech.com and please make sure to subscribe for the conference, because the earlier the better. Who knows? Maybe we will stop receiving your submissions. So it will be from the 22nd of March until the 26th. So a whole week of Karajan MusicTech, but not the whole day. So we don't want to overwhelm you.
Yeah, it will be really interesting.
Today.
Yes.
Yeah. What we did today was a little glimpse into this world. God, I'm already excited. 3 weeks to go.
Me too. Yes. So have a great evening, great day.
And greetings from Austria and Germany. We are also remote from each other, so to all over the world.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye. Tschüss.